Yom Tov. It's time for a Messianic Moment with Stephen Bruck. Welcome to July 2018. Before we start today's message, I'd like to just ask you to please remember to subscribe. Go to the right side of the page, click the little subscribe, leave your email. Promise we're not going to sell you stuff or have people call you. We're just going to send you a notification each time I do a new message. And if you're watching the video, in the bottom right-hand corner, the little square Messianic Moment icon, click on that and subscribe as well. And if you're going to subscribe to the video, please also go to the website, messianicmoment.com, and subscribe there as well, because I don't always do a video. And this way you won't miss out on anything. Share me out and make comments. Again, please make your comments, if you don't mind, on the messianicmoment.com website, so that people who don't watch the video will be able to see those comments as well. And I really appreciate your being here. And as always, with the comments, be nice. So today, it's going to sound like a unique beef, but stick with me because it's about advertising, in case you haven't guessed from the title. But I'm not against all advertising, just everything that's out there. Because let's get into it. How many times do we hear on the TV or radio that a product being advertised is one that you deserve to have? For instance, LASIK lately, the laser eye treatment, is now better than ever, so you can have the eyesight you deserve. Here are a couple of other examples I found just doing a Google search. You deserve Virgin Mobile. You deserve new now, shouts some billboard for a housing development, San Francisco Bay Area. The most original people deserve the most original vodka, reads the tagline on a series of ads for Stoli. And there are weight loss products from motivational speaker Tony Robbins that claim to give you the body you deserve, thin and healthy. And one other example, here's the best one here. Susie Orman, who's the financial writer, in her 2012 book, she says, she promises the future you deserve, rich and happy. Deserve. Well, I skipped the internet and I went old school. I used this thing we have called a dictionary. It's a book. It's like a paper thing, And I looked up what deserve means. It says to be worthy of or entitled to. And when you look deserved, that means merited or earned. So it's funny, deserve, worthy or entitled to, but deserved is merited or earned. Again, so what's my beef this morning? It's about the undeserved attitude of entitlement that people have today, which is promulgated and enforced by advertising. The airwaves bring us the news, which is fake and designed to disturb, as well as all these TV shows that we watch. And whether you have cable or satellite or you stream them live, it's all through the airwaves. And who's in charge of the airwaves? Well, if you're asking me, and since you're reading this, you are kind of assuming to ask me, it's not ABC or CBS or CNN. The person in charge of the airwaves is the person the Bible tells us is in charge of the air. He's called the Prince of the Air. That's right, it's Satan. Go to Ephesians 2:2 and you'll see what I mean. Now, I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and my attitude towards people is highly influenced by what I was conditioned to think watching TV as a child. Yes, I use the word conditioned because that is what advertising does to us. Nearly 1/3 of every hour of TV is advertising. And we watch hours of TV every single day. That equates to hundreds of hours of advertising as we watch TV hours and hours and hours every year. Hundreds of hours every year. Now, I was in sales for about 15 years. And what I learned was a lot, actually, about people. One of the things was that I think the career most closely related to sales is psychology. One of the most important lessons I ever learned as a sales professional, and everything I taught people who worked for me, is that people don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. And sales is a means of making people think that what you have is what they want. The advertising focus when I grew up back in the 50s and 60s, just after the earth cooled, was that a product was needed or helpful. But now, no, doesn't mean anything. Now it's focused on not needing the product, but deserving it. It's yours. You should have it. When we deserve something, we think, I want what I deserve. I want what I've earned. I want what I'm entitled to have. Give it to me now. Give it to me. It's mine. This pseudo entitlement goes way beyond just products and services. This is the problem. It can even influence our spiritual position. People think that they are entitled to be saved, that they have earned their salvation because they go to church every Sunday, or because maybe they keep a kosher house, even though I know a lot of people who have kept kosher house but don't eat kosher out. People think that they deserve to have what they want because that is what we are told over and over every 20 minutes while watching TV. You deserve this. You deserve that. You're entitled to this. Get what you deserve. Have what you need. Have what you deserve. Not need. Not you need this, but it's all yours. The message that sticks in our self-absorbed and hedonistic brains is this: if I want it, I deserve it. And that takes it to a whole new level. Just because somebody wants something, they think they're entitled to it or they deserve it. Not true. No. The result is that people believe because God made salvation free, not all people, some people, but some people believe, a lot of places teach, that because God made salvation free, that it's free to have, so I deserve it. I'm entitled to it. And I don't have to do anything to keep it. Well, no, you aren't. And yes, you do. None of us automatically deserves anything. And even though salvation is free to all who ask, we don't deserve it. And we aren't entitled to it. And we have to work hard to keep it. Salvation is here for us to have only because God is gracious and loving. Oh, yes. And very, very merciful. In Deuteronomy 9:6, Moses tells the children of Israel before they enter the land that they aren't in the land because they deserve it, but because the other nations have so terribly sinned that God is ejecting them. He further tells them that not only are they stiff-necked, but if and when they also reject God, then they will also be thrown out of the land. Folks, this message isn't just for the children of Israel going into the land back then. It's for every single one of us today. Salvation comes through faith. And faith has to be built on a humble and repentant attitude. We need to ask for forgiveness, and we need to ask for salvation. We are not deserving of it. We are not entitled to it. But because of the conditioning from advertising, which we are constantly and inescapably exposed to, we begin to think we're entitled to everything. Now, time out. I am not saying that we should get rid of all advertising. We can't. And advertising is an essential thing to have. It allows us to know what products and services are available to us. What I am suggesting is that we use discretion and common sense when we are exposed to advertising. And we definitely need to point out to our children how wrong are many of the things advertisers try to tell us. I don't know about you, but most of the time, I was going to say some of the time, but really, it's most of the time I watch advertising on TV, I feel insulted. I feel that they are insulting my intelligence with the dreck that they try to push out on me as being worthy of listening to. We need to remember that what we are told by people selling things is focused on our sinful nature, what in Hebrew we call the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. There's not one moment of advertising I can think of which appeals to our better nature. Oh, wait, well, other than maybe animal rescue commercials, or those commercials that are looking for funding for charitable organizations too. But other than that, it's all about me, 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 and what I deserve to have. Give it me, give me, give me. Today's message is that you must stay humble in the light of your remarkable amount of entitlement. Remain steadfast and frugal, despite the fact that you deserve to have so many of these wonderful products. Remember that you really don't deserve anything other than that which you have worked for. Now, salvation is something we ask for and receive freely, but it takes a lot of work to keep it. We have to live our lives for God and not for self in a world that is all about self. And that, my friends, is hard work. But if you stay the course, if you keep your eyes focused on your eternal reward and not just something that you can get from eBay, well, then you should do well. You don't deserve salvation, and you aren't entitled to happiness or peace of spirit. But you can have it for free because God is gracious and loving. And once we accept it, we then need to work hard to keep it. Just like the land God promised to Abraham's descendants, they received it as God's gift. But once they were there, they had to deserve to stay in it by obeying God. Things are no different today, folks. That's the message. So, be wary, be aware. Keep your eyes focused on things of God and on your eternal salvation. And please, stay humble. Don't think you're entitled to deserve anything except that which you've worked for. If you study hard and you get good grades, that's a good example. You know, if you work hard at a job and you're loyal and you come in early and you leave late and you get promotion, that's something you deserve and you've earned it. But as long as we remain humble, we have a much better chance of keeping that which we don't deserve, the gift of God, salvation and grace. So once again, please, if you like what you're hearing, subscribe, share me out. I want you to have a wonderful day. Lihitarot, which means I'll see you later. So enjoy your day. God bless. Baruch Hashem.